Congratulations on getting to Champions Cup final, and obviously you were looking on that where you wanted to be. What was it like? Was it enjoyable on any level? I mean, you're obviously on the sideline looking on, wanting to be in there. What was the occasion like?
Yeah, I suppose not being involved was obviously, from a personal point of view, was disappointing. But still, I was in amongst the warm up, and I think probably the highlight was when we kind of gather up on the halfway and we go to kind of jog around, and we had the hill kind of facing us, and I think it was probably one of the biggest lifts I felt ever in rugby. Coming around that corner and the hill kind of just, I suppose, erupted, which was something special. So I think if we had a hill like that the whole time, we'd be absolutely rocking it with some crack.
What was going through your head in the last 20 minutes as Northampton mounted their comeback and Leinster kind of faded slightly worryingly? What was going through your head?
Yeah, look, I think we knew they were always going to have their purple patch, and I suppose it came alive at that end towards those last 20 minutes, which was tough for all of us on the side. But to be honest, we've worked hard for those kind of situations. We kind of knew they were coming, and I suppose it was all hands on deck. So when it comes to effort and it comes to lads working hard, I knew we were never going to doubt each other. Although it probably looked manic and uncontrolled, I think the lads knew that they were going to be able to withstand it. So no, it was great. It was great to come through at the end. It was nice. It was a relief to get the final whistle, but no, I was never in doubt.
Never in doubt. Is it something you think that is? Have you discussed it already, or will it be discussed? Maybe mental fragility. Obviously, you'll know on the insides what went on, and Northampton are a great side on that. But maybe fatigue. When you look back to the end of the Champions Cup final last year as well, is mental fatigue spoken about and addressed this week in particular after the weekend?
There are very good, valuable conversations we do have around like what we're lads kind of feeling for the last 10 minutes. We talk about things like that a lot, and to kind of get our thoughts. The lads feel like we made the right decisions. Whether in games it'd be kicking to the corner. So there is kind of we do to an extent break down the kind of the final end of a game. And yeah, look, I think. Ultimately, it was just down to really Northampton having that purple patch and being able to they threw the kitchen sink in at it, and they were, in fairness, they're an incredible side. They'll be a tough team to beat in the Premiership going forward. So yeah, I think there is good conversations. We do dissect the game well, and I think it has stood to us now for the last while, thankfully.
You wouldn't be an Ireland international or a experienced Leinster player without being a competitor and wanting to break into the match day squad. And again, we hear a lot about that's the next step to getting more Irish recognition. How are you fixed for biding your time, or is it something, if you were to move away to another province to get more guaranteed Champions Cup game time, is it something you consider?
No, I think being able to deliver with Leinster has always been something that I think has been. I think being able to play amongst a huge amount of the Ireland team is something that stands to players trying to break through and trying to get another taste of it. I think to really push myself and to get back into an Irish setup, I have to deliver on the stage here at Leinster and push myself into this side. Kind of coming in and out of it is probably not enough, and being able to put myself back into the picture is probably the best way to drive forward. So I'm just gonna keep every chance I get. I'll keep putting my best foot forward and just hope it delivers on it.
And when's the last time you were talking to Andy Farrell or any of the Irish management about your status in the pecking order?
I look, and I think that's the beauty of the coaching staff in Ireland. I think they've been really good with conversations I've had with all lads in other provinces about being connected with people that may be on the fringes or haven't been in the squad for a while. They still keep good conversations going. I think that's what drives, I suppose, the competitive edge of how Ireland has been. To make an Ireland panel now is to make any Irish panel has always been difficult, but I think the push from even all the other provinces has has been exceptional. You look at players across each position, the pecking order. There's not a huge amount between each player, and I'd say that's down to obviously the clubs, the province has gone well, but as well as the conversations that lads are having with the coaching staff. You know, I think especially Paulie is great at being able to, I suppose, give you like things to work on, what's important to kind of keep driving, and no, it's they've been great for that.
Did you watch we were off yesterday, did you watch the Toulouse match on your day off? Or did you see any of it? Were you busy?
Yeah, no, I was watching it. Look, it was a great game. I suppose Harlequins did very well to push it to the wire, and that was credit to them. I suppose people would have written them off at half time, but in fairness, they stuck in it. They backed their product, and towards the end, you would have thought they could have snatched it. But yeah, no, it was a great game. I think it's an exciting challenge. You know, in London, up against Toulouse. You know, two big teams coming at each other. You know, and that's the thing with Champions Cup, is that, you know, there's not a huge amount that separates the two teams, and when we're coming up head to head, like it's just on the day how we both show up, and it's going to be an exciting game. But I suppose the importance of the next 2 weeks in the URC to really put ourselves in a good position going forward is the main thing.
I'll ask you about the Ospreys in a minute, but just the last two times you played Toulouse in the semi-finals, it was really a case of maybe killing off the game early on, and you could kind of see the French disinterest and indiscipline creeping in. I guess in the back of your mind you'd be expecting a different type of game when you do meet in London.
100%. It's a final. I think both teams are going to throw everything at it, and not that they didn't in the other times, but you know, we just we just had our day, and it just worked out for us that way. You know, we're under no illusion from our last two visits that it'll play out the same as that again. I think the way they've been going in the top 14, the way that they've been going in the Champions Cup, you know, they've really built on from last season, and you see players, you know, Miafu, even Dupont, are all kind of coming into their own. So yeah, you know, we know the threats that are coming, and it's yeah.
And then on Ospreys, they're just kind of outside flirting with the playoff places. Another defeat would really kind of put them out of the running, so they're going to come with nothing to lose. What are you expecting from the visitors on the weekend?
Yeah, look, I think that is the challenge. You know, they're working hard to get up to that top 8, but just as we're working hard to get home qualification. So yeah, there's a bit on the line for both of us. And I think you look at the game, there are 2 games over in South Africa, that Stormers game, I think Stormers probably wouldn't have seen them coming as well as they came, and that is the thing. When you look at players, you have like Tipperick there, like, you know, he's been a stalwart for Wales through the years, and I think as that's the kind of quality that we're coming up against. So, you know, I think building on from maybe the mistakes and whatnot that we made against Northampton, trying to kind of impose our game on Ospreys is important. But look, we're delighted to get back to the RDS, and I think, yeah, it'll be great crack.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for your time, Will, and best of luck for the week.
Thank you very much. Let's grow.